So I'm here with Rachel and Gary from Child's Vision, and first of all, congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Rachel, I'll start with you. Could you broadly explain what the charity is and what it's about?
So we are Child's Vision and we support children through domestic abuse. A lot of it that we've taken on recently is historic abuse, but obviously it still has an effect on them. So we provide one-to-one school support whereby we go in for approximately 8 weeks for around about half an hour per session depending on how old the child is. We will listen, we will make them realise that it's not their fault, that they're not alone. We also provide the Children's Freedom Programme by Pat Craven, and that is a behaviour kind of management programme whereby they learn what's acceptable and what isn't. So we use toy dragons. The red one is the bad behaviour and the green one is the good behaviour.
Yeah.
And this is quite a fun way of the children learning what's acceptable in a relationship and what isn't. We've also written 3 books, which is Through the Eyes of Children, Molly and Lucas, and they are used in the schools because they help children again realise that they're not alone. They are very hard hitting, but we make no apologies for that because what we do is hard hitting, and the children that we have seen have helped us write these books through their experiences.
And of course, as a charitable organisation, funding is such a huge issue there, and something that you need to do as much work as possible and help these children, of course, and these families. And if I talk to you, Gary, the treasurer of the organisation, how difficult is it to get funding, and what is not being done? Why do you think funding is so difficult to be attained?
Basically, no local or central government acknowledge that there is an issue like this, and they don't give any funding to us at all. So anything we do to raise money, whether it be a charity event or whatever like that, a corporate sponsorship, a private sponsorship, that is the only way we make money. And it is so difficult for us without the support of our benefactors that give us a certain amount of funding. Yes, we've had a couple of big funding grants from Children in Need and also
Collier
Ferguson, who is an amazing company that sponsored a couple of our team. But other than that, we really struggle for funding, it's a shame because if the central government acknowledged that domestic abuse is real, then maybe it would go hand in hand with the amount of people that are suffering with mental health as well, which abuse goes hand in hand with mental health because it really does affect people in a huge way.
And I mean, the government's not stepping up. What can the general public do? And I presume you're always open to fundraising events and anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely fundraising events, schools, anything like that, cake sales, whatever. We are willing to attend. We do have certain things that we can sell. We can do tombolas, things like that. If schools or anything like that would like to donate us a stall, just to allow us to be there, raising awareness, and we can explain to people more what we do and the fact that we're trying to educate the kids that are witnessing what they are, that this isn't the normal, and we are trying to break that cycle so that they don't go on to become abusers.
And Rachel, in terms of the services you provide, are you trying to create? Are you trying to sort of change the relationship between children and their parents? And is it very much a sort of a collaborative, trying to create a collaborative effort in that sense?
Absolutely, yeah. We are primarily set up to work with the children because there are a lot of other charitable organisations that work with the adults. But ultimately, we need to prevent the children from going forward and thinking that this is okay, that this is how they need to live. It's not. And we need to help them realise that actually life is better than what they're going through and that they are worth more. And then they will hopefully treat their respective families in a much nicer way moving forward.
And I know you've been operating for about 5 years now or so, and Gary mentioned before about breaking the cycle.
Yes.
You must have had plenty, of course, always plenty of work to do, but you must have had plenty of success stories in that time as well.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first children that came to us, I will always remember, we started off doing a few support groups in our local area, and this little boy came in. He was about 6 or 7. He was clambering over the tables, he was throwing things, he would not settle down. There was nothing that anybody could do. He had a total disrespect for everybody because we were all women there.
Okay.
And a couple of years later, after working with him down the line, he turned up with his mum at the Christmas light switch on,
Okay.
dressed up as a princess to help us raise money.
Wow, amazing.
And he's the loveliest boy you could ever wish to have now. And yeah, his mum said he is absolutely gorgeous. He's just so happy.
Yeah.
Because he's dealt with all those demons. He realises that it wasn't his fault. And he comes up and gives us a hug every time he sees us at a local event, which is really, really lovely.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of transformation must be so rewarding.
Yeah, it's brilliant to see. And as I say, we have a phenomenal team that work tirelessly to help support these kids. And also, we do try and support the parent that is also a victim to a certain degree. But as I say, unfortunately, the funding just restricts us so much. We'd love to do so much more. We're always looking for volunteers to come on board, and we will train them. We will do everything we can to help and support them so they can help and support the kids we're working with. We have such a backlog of kids as well. The pandemic really didn't help. We've seen an increase of 55% in demand for our service in the first 18-month period of COVID to a time lapse of the previous 18-month.
Yeah.
And it's just horrendous. And our waiting list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is
It's a shame.
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there's no doubt you need that funding, you need that support. I mean, I really appreciate everything that you guys do. It's so important what you do and your team. And congratulations for
Thank
the
you very
award.
much.
Thank you.
And thanks very much for speaking to us today.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Thank
you
you.
very much.